Why do people like me tend to harp on the Sabbath so much? It's because so many believers out there say we don't have to keep it. If there were that many people saying we don't have to keep the command to not commit adultery or to not take his name in vain, I would be talking about that a lot. But nobody's saying that. It's just the one command that he specifically said to remember. I was challenged to provide a verse in the New Testament that commands Sabbath observance. I have one right now. Hebrews 4, start in verse 7. Again, he limiteth a certain day, saying in David, Today, after so long a time, as it is said, Today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts. For if Jesus or Joshua had given them rest, then would he not afterward have spoken of another day? There remaineth therefore a rest to the people of God. For he that is entered into his rest, he also hath ceased from his own works, as God did from his. Let us labor therefore to enter into that rest, lest any man fall after the same example of unbelief or disobedience. Now, in Hebrews 3 and 4, those two chapters, 11 different times the word rest comes from either katapausis, Strong's 2663, or katapause, Strong's 2664. Those 11 times, rest is a good translation for those words. But the word rest in Hebrews 4, verse 9 is translated from sabbatismos. That's Strong's 45, verse 20. The word literally means keeping of a Sabbath. The King James footnote in my Bible here says, or keeping of a Sabbath. Scofield's new King James Version, a footnote here says, literally keeping of a Sabbath. He knew that Hebrews 4, verse 9, it should have been there remaineth therefore a keeping of the Sabbath to the people of God. Lamb's translation of the Aramaic for Hebrews 4, verse 9 says, it is therefore the duty of the people of God to keep the Sabbath. So, is there a New Testament command to keep the Sabbath? Hebrews 4, verse 9. It literally means, there remaineth therefore a keeping of a Sabbath to the people of God. If you think our rest is truly in Christ, yes, it is. That's even more reason to keep it as a memorial of that. Look at a lot of the modern translations. They say there remains a Sabbath rest to the people of God. Everybody knows what sabbatismos means. So if you believe your rest is in Christ, it's all the more reason to keep it. And for those that claim Jesus is the Sabbath, no, he's not. That's ridiculous. He's the Lord of the Sabbath, not the Sabbath. Peace all. Stay safe. Bye-bye.